2,000 walkers and runners will lace up their shoes tomorrow to support suicide awareness and prevention. Joining us this morning to talk about the run and why it is so important is Dr. Keita Curry. She is the CEO of D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services. Good morning, Dr. Curry. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm really glad you're featuring this.
Yeah. So first of all, tell us about this walk tomorrow. What can we expect?
Well, tomorrow there'll be over 2,000 people of all ages that are coming out to celebrate the lives of people they lost and also to help save lives in the future. And we'll be celebrating people who we've lost to suicide. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among teens and young adults, and the rate has increased by almost 30% in the last 20 years. So people just don't know how common it is, and we can save lives if we know what to do.
And September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. What stories have you heard from people over the years out there during this 5K?
Well, we've heard from kids who've attempted suicide and didn't know what to do and took one of our bracelets with the phone number so they'd be able to call for help in the future. Moms who lost their 13-year-old sons. Grandparents that lost their kids, co-workers. We've all almost all of us have lost someone to suicide.
Right, and I have to say, you know, right now it's at the forefront of many people's minds because we've had so many high-profile suicides, Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, so many of these. But I do think that it is helpful in raising awareness and opening up maybe people to talk about it.
You're right, because there's often a lot of shame and embarrassment, and so people who are either thinking of hurting themselves or have lost someone are all alone, and they're at risk of having mental health problems themselves if they don't get help and get a chance to talk about it.
And we talk about it so often, but what signs should people really be looking for with their loved ones?
Number one, if someone is talking about wanting to end their life or how they're a burden on everyone and nothing's ever going to get better, showing that hopelessness, if they start giving possessions away, if they've changed and withdrawn, or they're suddenly very irritable, just changes in behavior. And even if it's not a sign that they're thinking about suicide, there's nothing wrong with saying to someone, you're not acting the same and I really care about you. What's going on?
Good advice. Okay. And tell us where the money goes that's raised by the Alive and Running 5K. Where does all this money actually go?
It goes to our 24-hour suicide crisis line. We receive over 100,000 calls a year. It goes to support groups for people who have lost a loved one to suicide or attempting. And we train over 10,000 people a year. The police, teachers, parents, kids. Because if we all know how to recognize the warning signs, the way we recognize choking and know how to do the Heimlich, we can save lives.
Do you think that some of the stigma about talking about suicide is finally getting erased?
Definitely. 20 years ago, this is our 20th anniversary, we had about 200 people. Now we have 2,000.
Wow, that's impressive.
Maybe we'll have 3,000 this year.
Right.
Hope more people would come out.
All right, wonderful. Well, best of luck tomorrow, and thank you so much for all of your efforts, and thanks for your time this morning. We really appreciate it,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Curry.
We can all save lives.
Perfect. Well, and the Alive and Running 5K Walk and Run for Suicide Prevention kicks off tomorrow at 7 a.m. at West 88th Street and La Tejera Boulevard. For more information, just go to aliveandrunning.org. Thanks again for your time, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.